got some questions. I'm very curious as to what you guys know or don't know what's involved in making content. What I do know, especially on a junkyard dig, you gotta take a lot of crap. We got a cooler full of ice and electrolytes and pickles and pickle juice from the Flat Brim Farmer. I've got tools just in case. I don't think we're going to get into the tool thing today, but I'm not sure. Sunscreen. No sunscreen. Oh, oops. You need sunscreen. I've got sun hats. I've got long sleeve shirts. I've got camera equipment. I've got microphones. I've got tripods. What else? Boots. Sunglasses. A game plan might be nice. And then you got to figure out creative ways to capture things. And ideally what you would like to do is to sort of record in some sort of sequential order, utilizing multiple angles from multiple vantage points in order to make the editing process a little bit easier on the tail end of it. Now you can jump out of order and record a bunch of stuff and then do an intro, do an outro, or your commentary after the fact. But it seems like the best thing to do is to do it while you're in process. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Well, here we go again. I want to see these full-size autos that they have up here.
Yeah, we missed this whole side of the yard the last time we were here.
Gonna get to work out today. This might quite possibly be my favorite spot. Now that's what you call a pole barn.
Are those drive shafts?
No, man, it's all made out of old used stripper poles. That's why it's a pole barn.
Here at John's Auto Salvage, they salvage everything.
Motors, they got it. Transmissions, they got it. Radios, they got it. Check that out, man.
Holy moly.
That's pretty rad. Oh, look, there's a camera in the frame.
Oh, man.
Bad YouTuber, bad YouTuber. So we're gonna try to stay on task and sort of map this place out for you. But I kind of have a feeling we might get sidetracked a whole bunch.
Just like last time.
Yeah, I want to get up into that front lot. That looked pretty cool. Whole complete cars for sale. A little footage.
Did you get the OnlyFans footage?
I did get the OnlyFans footage. Yeah, man, this is worth digging, especially for some Oldsmobile stuff. Because I don't know about you or our viewers, but when you're working on obscure stuff, it's more of a question of what's gonna work versus what's available.
I would imagine somewhere in this yard we could find an overdrive situation for that Buick. He would probably be of some help.
Yeah, you know, you come out here and you look at it, and it's like, oh, there's no way. It's just crap everywhere. But them old timers, man, they're keen. They're sharp as the tack. They'll be like, oh, yeah, that's right here. That's for this. That's for that. That'll work with this. These are interchangeable. They know their stuff. All right, this is all newer stuff, late model, if you will. So we're gonna go find a really cool spot, and then we'll pick up where we left off.
Go this way. What does old Gunny have to say about that?
I didn't know they stacked shit that high.
It's always cool to see these old junkyards and then see a fresh, brand new spot. Somebody got to pull something home. Something got saved. This is the coolest thing about this yard, though. There is a lot of complete vehicles here.
Oh, they have a lot of good stuff here. This is like boots on the ground history. Plenty of Ford trucks. A little bit of everything here. We're talking donor chassis, drivetrains, body panels, good clean projects. I believe that was the bathroom over there from last time. Tri-5s, yeah, we got them. This used to be a Cutlass. I once upon a time donated a Cutlass to this place. Couldn't tell you what happened to it. Old Dodge. Let's get you in a little closer.
Check out this Dodge murder van right here. For you Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans.
Yeah. Somebody. Be on the lookout, guys. We are trying to locate an affordable, buildable 57 Dodge. Swept side would be cool, but a standard side is fine as well.
Wonder if you could take a Dodge non-swept side and then clone one using the fins off of a Dodge car.
You absolutely could. That's what they did. They did that at the factory. They were the quarter panels off the wagons.
So if we couldn't find an actual swept side, we could make a clone. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, in theory we could.
I think we're getting into some old familiar territory.
I think so.
Go back and check out our second episode on the channel, and you'll know exactly where we are right now.
Not my finest piece, but it was 103. Sweating eyeballs, and I didn't have my glasses. The enamel was vaporizing as soon as it hit the surface. It was not a good time to paint.
And that was just a few weeks ago. It's not like we've been gone for a year and come back, but that was a couple weeks ago. And it already looks like some of this stuff has moved around and changed. So people are coming out to the yard. People are still pulling stuff out of here. It's still a good working junkyard.
Look at that cactus queen right there.
That's cool.
That's a utility bed. All right, you ready to get into Spiderville?
Everybody gets one. Tell him, Peter.
Apparently everybody gets one.
Bingo.
Is this the way to Spiderville?
I think so. There's the nice 64 olds. What do we got here? 88 Super 88 Star for the Super. So that's cool. That's a good donor car for all of us old guys out there. Hey, grab the machete.
Which side is it on? Oh, I see it.
What's this long, hard thing?
My machete.
Come on through, man.
Whew.
Smile.
Oh, crap, that sun is bright.
Hey, dude. You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for a pickle party. Let's get it.
Pickle, puff, puff, pickle, 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 puff, puff, pickle, pickle, pickle.
All right, if that falls on top of me and I die, the kids are yours.
You threatened me with that good time.
Oh.
Holy moly. You know that's all that's holding up this is the calf.
Yeah. All right, dude. Pickles.
Pickle party.
Pickle party. Pickle party. Pickle away. All right, so let's do an update, man. We've been here for about 2 hours, and we're doing a lot better than last time. We're taking water breaks. We're finding shade. We ate before we came. We've got electrolytes, sleeves, shade hats, sunglasses.
We definitely learned a lot on the last trip out here, so this one's going quite a bit better.
And this is more about the place, not our antics. You know, we talked about doing some cool stuff, like some treasure hunts and some pick and paints. It's just too hot for that stuff. We'll get on top of that when the fall comes around and it cools down a little bit. Enamel paints in 100-degree weather, they're not good friends. 48 years old in hot weather, we're not good friends.
Hey, I'm not far behind you on that one.
Oh, we forgot to touch Pickles.
Salute.
Pickle picking, dude. There you go.
Pickle picking.
Pickle picking.
I guess this would be pickling in the Junkyard Part 2, or what do we call that first one? Pickle Party?
Yeah. Pickle party. You know what? I could live here. My wife will tell you, I knew he was going to say that.
Now, here in Seguin or here in the junkyard itself?
No, right here.
Right here under this truck.
It's already got a bed.
What more do you need?
I guess this would be a bed frame.
There you go. Don't even have to go to IKEA.
You shouldn't sound so shocked that I live in here. Is that going to be the last noise we hear before we get crushed? Is that...
Sounds like a turkey call.
Oh, you know what? We're good. This still has the whole drivetrain in it. So it's all front heavy.
Ah, there you go.
Pretty good, man.
It's a beautiful day. And it's just peaceful in the yard. Out of the city. Out of the 9 to 5. Mondays are becoming my favorite day of the week.
Uh-oh. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
I'm sure because a lot of our folks are going to comment. What's up?
Look at...
I found a mix-matched pair of shoes. Which one's left and which one's right? I found a mix-matched pair of shoes. Which one's left and which one's right?
I gotta walk away.
The laugh does it.
Pizza the Hut!
Now, folks, when we're out in the yard, we eat all kinds of different pickles, but we should probably take this time to spot our actual pickle sponsor, somebody who actually supports what we're doing here in South Texas, and that is the Flat Brim Farmer. So go to his website, check out what he's got, and let him know that we sent you.
Yep.
But the reason that we eat these style pickles with the juice in the bag and everything is to help with some of the heat exhaustion, cramping. You know, the athletes are doing it. Probably good for us too.
Yep. You need the sodium and the potassium when you're out here.
Come get this delicious brine.
Look at that big old tank right there. It's just dying to be made into a barbecue pit.
Right.
Although it's probably full of oil or something. It's a diesel tank, I think. It's got the...
As long as it's not a shit tank.
It'll burn off.
Shitter was full.
Fun fact, folks. When your esophagus is half the size that it should be, it takes you a little longer to eat stuff.
Oh yeah, he definitely can't take a pickle.
I'm going to take that as a compliment. How come every time I wash my clothes it smells like pickles?
Yeah. I think it's time to do a battery check.
What do you think happened to this car? Chime in the comments. Let us know. Was it a chop? Was it a wreck? Did it come here as a full-blown car and somebody needed a part? What do you think?
Here we go. Peel out! Peel out!
lived in California for about 10 years.
California.
It's a long ways away, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
They had too many rules and regulations in California. Of course, now they got them all here. Everywhere you go, I'm sure you'll find them. But at the time, when I first went out there, they just had too many rules and regulations. Trying to keep up with them, but I couldn't. So I sold out and moved to Texas. When I came here, they didn't make me buy a license, or the only thing they did is give me this book to turn the titles in. Told me if I get a car, I need to turn the title in. They also told me if I wanted to sell a car, I either took the title out and drew a line through it, or if it already had gone into the state, they would send me a salvage title on it. But they quit doing that a long time ago. Goofed me out. I turned in a lot of titles I wouldn't have turned in if I'd have known they weren't going to give them back to me. Because at first they did for maybe 5-10 years. But after that, they got to where they didn't want to do that. Some of those floods probably had something to do with it, because people were buying cars that had been through a flood, and kind of messed up the people that are trying to do what's right, you know what I mean? But anyway, we got past that, and they said I had to have a dealer's license, salvage dealer, automobile retail dealer's license. So I got those. Somewhere along the line, they told me I had to get a tax number and charge sales tax. So I started doing that pretty early, probably about 76, somewhere around here. And as time has gone by, a lot of things have changed.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff has changed in just a short amount of time too.
But it seems like it's snowballing. They're changing things a lot faster than they used to.
I would agree with that. Yeah, clock's spinning pretty fast these days. So you started out in California, so you had a salvage yard in California?
Yeah.
And it was mostly classic cars?
Back in the 60s, they weren't classic cars yet.
Right, okay, so it was a modern salvage yard at the time.
It was whatever I could find to salvage. Late model cars, old cars, trucks, anything I could find.
Yeah, a lot of desert vehicles, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that not too long ago. Most of the yards out there, they're crushing everything now. If they're not towing it out to the desert and blowing a bunch of holes in it. I brought my father-in-law to your yard when he came to visit from California, because they just didn't have any good yards anymore. So he was pretty enthralled walking through here. It was nice to see him. He kind of had like a boyish grin on his face looking at all the old cars. So
A lot of people come out here and don't even know half of these cars or what they are. They're kids, and kids try to tell a kid that's a 51 Chevy. Probably goes right over his head.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're at with this whole thing. We wanted to capture you just because you're a part of keeping this stuff alive, as are we, but if it wasn't for you, we couldn't do it. And the next couple of generations, they're not going to touch it. So somebody's got to keep it alive.
Yeah, the younger the people are, the less interested in classic and antique cars they are.
That is for sure. We've come across that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're quick to sell them. They
Inherit.
acquire or inherit a vehicle. They're quick to sell it. Just like family land, they don't honor all the work that went into keeping the property. They just sell it.
That's a shame.
It is. And I'm sure you guys are seeing it coming into Seguin.
Mm-hmm.
People are selling left and right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because now they're getting top dollar on a lot of stuff, but a lot of people are coming from out of state too, and they're buying up stuff like crazy.
It's like a plague covering the land. It just
Yeah.
keeps growing and growing and growing.
All these community
Houses
houses.
that you jump from one roof to the next house.
Oh yeah.
To me, if I don't live about a half a mile from the next house, I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, we would call those monopoly houses.
Oh yeah.
The ones that are just stacked right on top of
Yeah.
each other, and you can jump roof to roof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Reach
those-
out your window and touch and shake the neighbor's hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
Basically, kind of different.
These housing developments have been popping up all over the place. And
Oh yeah.
And they don't build them very good because they build them really quick.
Yeah, they're quick to flip that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what gets you started in something like this, where we walked the yard, we filmed probably most of the yard, not all of it, I'm sure, but what gets you started in pulling this many cars onto a property? Just one at a time, something started showing up, or?
Well, yeah. Actually, when I was in California, I used to tear up transmissions all the time. So I kept buying cars and taking the transmission out of them, putting them in my car, keep going. And after a while, I accumulated a lot of stuff, and people started wanting to buy parts of them. So I started selling parts too. Next thing I knew, I had a record. And from there on out, I guess I was in business in California about 9 years. I was out there for 10. But it was about a year before I actually got started doing anything.
Now, you think the cars that you find here in Texas are in better condition? Because you don't have any of the salt in the air from the ocean?
Actually, I was in by Riverside County, San Bernardino and Riverside. And there wasn't much of a rust problem there at all.
I think California's got a pretty nice car culture.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still doing a lot of work out there too. So what's your favorite spot in this yard?
I'm sitting in it.
You're sitting in it? next to the cash drawer, right?
In the air conditioning.
You said you were messing up the transmissions in a bunch of cars. What was the first one that you started that you had to sit there and figure out how to pull a transmission out of?
49 and 50 Fords.
Shoeboxes.
Yeah.
Like the one that you see in the
What were you
garage?
doing? Racing them?
Yeah.
Oh, of course not.
Racing
Of course not.
That was illegal.
Illegal racing, huh?
Yeah.
You've got quite a bit of shoeboxes in the yard.
Yeah.
Is that one of your favorites?
That's what I drive, is it?
That's what you drive daily, huh?
Well, not anymore daily.
Oh no, that's that truck right there.
I'm driving a black Ranger pickup. But when I go to rod runs or whatever, I drive it 49 Ford or my panel truck, 48 Ford panel truck.
That panel truck's beautiful.
I've been all over the United States in it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. So do you as a proprietor of a junkyard, do you know all the other guys that have yards?
Tammy does. I don't really. She knows who to refer them to if we don't have what she.
Or like the like-minded guys, the
Yeah.
old car club guys, like the old Dutchman guys.
Yeah.
They're a
And,
dying breed. A lot of them.
yeah.
All starting to go, but for the most part,
That dying thing's going around.
yeah.
Did you know Ken Richter
Uh-huh.
worked at CarQuest?
Did he pass?
Yep.
When?
Must have been last week or so.
Oh man, he had cancer.
Yeah, I know.
Ken.
Ken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1,000 auto parts or something like that. That's where he was
It's
working.
CarQuest.
Or was CarQuest at
Yeah.
one time?
Yeah, car club.
Yeah. Then you got Honest John from John. Honest
Cadillac.
John. Cadillac. All he specialized was Cadillacs, all different years. He passed. That stuff's gone now.
Yeah.
Hensley's shut down over there in
Hensley
Lockhart.
said, yeah.
Canal, Salvage, and Broncos shut down.
I'm one of the last few.
In this area.
There was a guy out in Fredericksburg too. I don't know if he was a senior. I don't know if his name was Jeff, but I know his son pretty well, and we see him at all the swap meets. And his dad ran a yard for years and years and years, and I think he passed away last year with some COVID complications or whatnot. So.
Well, there's a big and up and coming yard in Sunset, Texas, and that's a father and son yard, Brown Salvage.
Up near
Trent
Dallas.
Anderson, and then they're building up theirs, and they don't stack theirs like ours. They just have them side by side. Well, they got a lot of acreage, so they're just bringing them in. They're dragging them from out of states. They're going to auctions. They're actually scouting cars. They're going out of state, bringing in cars too. Or they try to see if there's an individual has a bunch of cars, somebody's cast. They try to buy them in bunches and bring them in.
Yeah, we've seen on YouTube, there's a few people from out of state that have been bringing him cars, and then they've done some tours of his yard up there. We plan on making a trip up there just to see what he's got. But, this is just the local spot for us. We can come out here about every week if we wanted to and come play in the playground. So
Where do y'all live?
we're in San Antonio,
Oh, yeah.
so it's not too bad of a
Then
drive
Little
for us.
Valley downsized their property, their stuff.
Yeah. You moved, right?
No, he actually didn't move. He just sold half of his property and downsized. Because all he's going to be doing now
I
is
thought
like,
he moved too. I
I
thought.
didn't think he did. He downsized, and he decided to just restore cars. Basically, is what he's doing now. He does. He's got a lot of Chevy stuff, a lot of GM stuff.
Yeah.
That's what he sells. And then you got CTC.
Yep.
They're proud of their stuff.
They sure are. They were chasing people out of the yard for a while. They weren't allowing people access. I guess they had a lot of thievery happening.
Yeah, and same thing's happening at Brown Salvage. And Trent said, he goes, it keeps up, and I'm just not going to allow people. I'm going to have escort them in the yard. I hate to have to do that, but even John, he's had vandalism through the years, and he had gotten to a point where he just thought, I'm not going to let anybody in the yard anymore. And I tell people, see something, say something, because it's just not, one bad apple spoils it for everybody else,
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why you don't let kids in the yard.
Yeah, a lot of times too, and I always tell people that bring their kids. I say, you bring them, you take them with you. They break something, you bought it. That's simple.
Yeah.
They call me and ask me. I have people bring babies into the yard, and I'm like, that's not a good thing to be doing that.
No. Especially all the critters that we find.
Oh yeah, you catch a wildlife out there.
There's definitely some poisonous snakes out there.
Yeah.
Have you come across any?
Not lately, but we have in the past. We killed a lot of copperheads and a few rattlesnakes.
I was just talking about that. The rattlesnakes let you know where they're at. The copperheads don't.
Don't depend on that. They'll bite you
and then tell you about it.
Yeah, we make sure to make a little noise before we open anything or step across something.
Yeah.
But
I've opened many a hood and found a yellow jacket nest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do come across the yellow jackets and then those big red ones that have been coming about.
The big red ones are not very aggressive. You almost got to mess with them to get them to do anything.
Yeah, it's a paper wasp.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little yellow jackets will get you one.
Well, shoot, at one time in the yard, what you used to have cows in the yard.
Yeah, and the customers would come up and say, there's a big bull down there, scared me near to death. And I go, there ain't no bull down there. Those are all cows. But it had horns.
Cows have horns.
Cows have horns.
That's funny.
They thought only the bull had the horns.
They take care of the grass.
Yeah.
Well, they did some damage too. For the goats.
Oh yeah, the goats will eat
goats.
everything. There goes all the interior.
Yeah.
Keep them doors closed. But that is one thing that we noticed about the yard too. That you have a lot of space. Yes, there is some tall grass, but for the most part, your yard is kept up really well. Like, it's not hard to get into places and see some of the, if you're looking for something specific off of one of these vehicles, you can get to most of the stuff that you got in the yard. There's not a whole lot of, well, I can't get over there because the grass is up too tall or anything like that. We've not had any problem getting anywhere on the property. So
That's good.
Banana spiders maybe.
Banana spiders, those big guys are making houses all over. But
Yeah, they eat the mosquitoes.
yeah, they do.
You ever tangle with one of those?
Oh yeah, I used to play with them all the time.
You play with them?
You talking about the big yellow spider?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't bite
They
you.
don't bite. Not humans, they don't bite.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
I think it'd still freak me out if I walked through a web though. And
Not like my brother. He has arachnophobia. Right? Everybody knows that.
Steve knows it.
Steve.
go chasing them with spiders.
Oh, he just.
Tense up. Yep.
Yeah. Then you got, I think out in Wellington, they got older salvage, and he's got like, what, 40s on down over there.
Really?
He's got the older stuff.
Where?
Wellington, Texas.
Owens.
Owens. He's got that.
His dad started that place, and he took over. That's where I got some of the parts for that 40.
Is it?
Do you have her in Austin?
No, I just have John on that one.
So I don't want to pull this off of this.
I'm gonna have to run home and eat me some lunch.
Yeah. You're about ready for some lunch today, huh?
Just about.
One of these days, because they're not open till Wednesday, we'd like to take you to lunch. Like probably Texas Pride Barbecue. You been over there?
What city is it in?
It's off 604,
Yeah.
just outside of San Antonio.
Oh, dance hall?
They got some old vehicles over there. Like their concert area. They've got some old buses and some old
They got I
signage
think
and
it's
stuff.
a Lone Star beer bus or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
We got to make a plan and make that happen sometime soon.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you got to take a. Well, I guess I got to take a Wednesday off too.
I can easily do that. We can make that happen. But we appreciate you sitting down and talking with us, because really, like, us starting this channel and wanting to do something where, you know, we can get out, you know, to the world, you know, what we've got going on and what we find to be fun. You know, it's places like this that we want to show people, like, hey, this still exists in the world, you know.
Yeah.
You may think it doesn't, but there's still spots like this that you can go and find
For a
something
while.
old to tinker on.
Who knows how long a while, but for a while.
I think it's like walking through a history book.
Yeah.
My first car is back there.
Yeah, I've got a car back there. I dropped one off for him a while back, but
Yeah.
it's been years.
My first car I ever owned was back there.
And I didn't know I had a car back there, and we found it today.
Did you?
Yeah. And of course, a few other hands have owned it since me, but
Yeah.
I found it sitting out there, and it's a shoebox. So, hey, I owned this one at some point. So.
That's great.
So before we wrap this up, can I have one story about something that you'll never forget that's happened either in this business or in this yard? And if it's inappropriate and weird, that's perfect.
Oh, there's too many stories.
Yeah, I know.
Scariest? Fire.
Yeah. We've had a couple of fires that really cost me some money. I said $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 each time we had a fire. It burned up a whole lot of cars when they're stacked three high. The bottom one catches on fire, all three on the next. Just looked like Maui.
Yeah, is that from the excessive heat or people being careless in the yard?
Throwing cigarettes.
Ah.
Smokers.
Yeah.
Well, they should know better.
Were you ever a smoker, John?
When I was a kid. Once
I
was
recently quit.
Once I was an adult, I realized that wasn't a smart thing to do, so I quit.
So all the doctors that endorsed him were wrong. 9 out of 10 doctors agree. Yeah.
Yeah, they might agree, but how many old doctors do you see that can tell you that?
Yeah, very, very true. That's
In fact,
cool.
we had one of our local doctors die recently. Brooks Mullen.
No?
Brooks Mullen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He was a smoker.
I don't know, man. Some of those forgive the term, old timers. They're tough as nails. 102, 103 years old, smoking until the day they died.
We have a perfect person that we dealt with. Remember, John?
Jerry Tyrone.
He died in his 90s, and there he was
No,
what, 90
he
something.
was 101.
101.
Yeah.
But
You know what?
Here he was 90 something, right?
He
And
was-
he was changing the tire iron.
He was 100 years old.
100?
And what was his name?
Jerry Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Jerry Tyrone.
I think that gentleman sat in my 41 once.
Jerry Tyrone.
I think he used to get his haircut next to my shop. And I drove my 41 to work, and he wanted to come out to see it because it was his birthday, and he turned 101. And I put him in the car and took pictures of him, and man, he had a blast.
Well, that's a cool little story.
Yeah, I'll find the picture.
Remember his dump truck? He took it over there. He was gonna dump some gravel or something for you over there, and then it just tipped over.
We raised it
got
up, it
tipped-
was off balance, and it fell over.
And it toppled over onto the driver's side, and everybody's like, "Oh my God!" Because they thought, "Oh, he's gone." And he climbs out. He's, just yank her on this side and put her over. She'll be all right. And then put it back up, right up, and it started right back up. And told you, Bessie's all right. He's meanwhile, we were panicking. I'm like, "Oh my God, Tyrone."
That's cool. You can't do that anymore.
Oh no.
All the switches and sensors and
Oh, yeah.
computer defaults and
Gas, all the different
Yeah,
stuff.
these modern vehicles
Engines.
aren't made for that.
no, they're all garbage.
I turned the boom truck over a couple of times.
The shorty in there?
No,
the big
this
one.
big one like that. I had a couple of them in California. I was working in a smaller area, and I picked up a 55 Chevy. It was complete, and it got hung on something, and I just kept pulling, and finally it let go of what it was hanging on. Went this way and flopped the damn truck over on its side.
So that truck will pick up a whole car, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. But
That's
you don't
pretty
want to pick it up from one side. You want to pick it up pretty straight behind it.
Got him! There he goes again. Motherfucker.
Even though like all the audio is gonna be on the same track anyway, we don't have to sync any of this audio.
I'm just trying to get in the habit.
Yeah, you're right. We need.
They deserve it.
Yeah, that learning with these new mics, we're definitely hitting that learning curve right now of trying to line up multiple tracks, because I think we had some echoes the first couple times we were trying to do that.
I think the echo is kind of cool if we meant to do it.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to hit a point where it's in there so much, we obviously didn't mean to do it. Like, what
like,
are these guys
how
doing?
come you're always in reverb?
Man, I know, right? But there you have it. Second trip out to John's. I had fun. I thought it was cool. I think that we are definitely learning every time we go out. I really enjoyed the hold on, let me rephrase that. I enjoyed watching multiple camera angles, not necessarily setting them up.
Yeah, that turned what probably would have been like a walkthrough of a couple hours into an all-day affair. Yeah, but we've seen that in other videos too, where people have said like, "Hey, I can do my job in 20 minutes, but to show y'all what we're doing, it takes an hour and a half."
Absolutely.
So,
Sure
but
does.
it was tons of fun. I mean, I think a couple of those angles I went and just clamped the GoPro to like a bus window, or we walked past it, and it's just like a lot of fun finding those angles.
Yeah, the angles are definitely cool.
We're finding our fun in all of this.
And I was just gonna say that, like, that's the main thing here, is that we're totally having fun doing this, man. We're not trying to be like anybody else out there. We're not like replicating or stealing people's mojo. We're just having fun, and I don't know. It seems like the editing portion
when we first started this, like that was like the dreaded thing. Everybody like, oh, got a whole day of editing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's hilarious.
And that's why we're including our editing process into these videos so y'all can see, like, we're having fun doing that part because we're finding ways to just absolutely make fun of ourselves. And y'all saw that on this one with the wonderful pickle party that we had.
Yeah, well,
So.
we do that anyway, so why not put it on film, right?
Exactly.
But again, we're still learning. I think in terms of artistic freedom with this one, we grew a lot. I think we're still stumbling a little bit on audio, but you know, we got some mics now.
Yep.
So we just got to remember to keep them close to our mouth. When we were in the truck bed for the pickle party, I put mine up high so you couldn't hear me, but you could hear you.
Yeah, because I had mine stuffed in the pocket. Same thing when y'all got to the interview with John. We absolutely had the pleasure of being able to see him in his element, see him working on some of his own cars. Then he agreed to sit down with us in the office and talk with us. I know some of his audio was quiet, but it's worth going back and giving it a listen if you missed anything in it, because the man is full of knowledge. He has a great story, you know, as far as, you know, how he got started in just junking, and, you know, it's worth going back. So we will take notes from this one going forward and do better with some of our audio stuff, but I really hope y'all enjoyed this one.
I enjoyed the John segment because you could obviously tell it was truly organic. Nothing was scripted. You could tell by the squeaky chair and the gal eating lunch and the guy that walks in like mid-interview. But that was cool, right? We were like on the spot. We were just kind of like spitballing a little bit, and you know, we got a couple good stories out of it. That's one thing that I don't like when I watch podcasts and stuff is like the templated fill in the blank interview questions. Like everybody asks the same people the same questions. Like you can have a guest that's on 4 different podcasts, but it's the same podcast.
Yeah, same information being regurgitated. And it's not the guest's fault at all, you know, but it just happens that way. Sometimes people don't know how to do interview style things. Like they get bunched up, like they get worried about being on a microphone, or they don't know, you know, what to do with their hands, or, you know.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
It's good for collaborating an alibi though, because at least your story's consistent. But regardless, Pickle Party was fun. That was one of my favorite things to shoot. I think it was a little bit drawn out because audio was kind of questionable. But overall, that was cool. I think we're going to use that spot in some sort of way every time we go out there. I think the guests were cool. Maybe we can start pulling some more guests into the mix. I'd like to get a little bit more background music going so you guys don't get bored. And we found some really cool music that I didn't even know existed. So I've enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah, and then if y'all want to see, you know, things outside of cars, you know, more of, you know, the Corsobuilt art, you know, what is it, skin, metal, wood?
Skin, metal, wood, but so, that's in the works. It's just everything that's in production right now is a process, because outside of owning a business, running a business, you having a full-time job.
Yeah.
And then,
it's a lot.
Right. Family time, spouse time, all that stuff. At the end of all that, we get to do this stuff. And we do burn our day off, or our days off, shooting this for you, editing. It's fun, but it does take a while, especially if you want to put out like a nice product.
Yeah, and for these first few videos, we're not necessarily trying to stick to a weekly thing. If we can put out something every week, we're going to. If we can make, you know, the way the edits go, sometimes it's like bam, 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 everything worked right away and we can drop a video for you. And then like this one, it took us a couple weeks, but, you know, we're just trying to put out something decent, so.
Right, so we've got a lot of B-roll footage and a lot of shorts that we're going to sort of compile so we can get some smaller things out there. Like, are they shorts? Are they call them shorts?
Well, they'll still be considered full-length videos, because like the shorts, everybody knows as the social media style videos that YouTube started doing. So the B-roll stuff that we're going to roll out is just going to be shorter, full-length episodes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but the main thing is just to kind of like saturate the tube. So that's where we need your help. Like, you guys gotta like it, you gotta subscribe to it, please interact with it, leave comments, let us know what you want to see, let us know what you don't want to see. We've got a lot of ideas that are on the board that haven't made it to video yet, so be on the lookout for that. And like you said, we want to get some more art stuff in there, so I think one of the next videos is going to be more of like the built side, not so much automotive, although all these things kind of coincide with one another. It's just the cultural circles that overlap.
Absolutely. But as always, folks, keep it rad, keep it fun.
And don't forget your pickle party. Thanks.